Hi guys, please do subscribe us. We'll get you the latest update on real estate in India and abroad, and we'll get you the review about the society, about the locality, about the builder, and we'll get you the latest offer, new launches, new offers in commercial, residential, and we'll get you the news, the trend in real estate, whether to invest in real estate or not, the what is the correct time to invest, and we'll get you to make your real estate portfolio grow with the time. So please do subscribe us. Thank you. Namaste. हाय गाइस, आपके नाम प्रॉपर्टी का रजिस्ट्रेशन है, फिर भी आप प्रॉपर्टी के ओनर नहीं हो सकते. सरप्राइज्ड? यस, यू हर्ड इट राइट. आज हम एक ऐसे सुप्रीम कोर्ट के वर्डिक्ट के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे जिसको आफ्टर दैट जजमेंट लोगों को बहुत कन्फ्यूज़न हुआ कि व्हाट डज दैट रियली मीन, और इसका एक्चुअल में क्या इम्पैक्ट है, क्या मतलब है. जी हाँ, मैं बात कर रहा हूँ सुप्रीम कोर्ट का लेटेस्ट डिसीजन जो था मेहरू फातिमा इमरान एंड अदर वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ तेलंगाना. सो व्हाट वाज द वर्डिक्ट एक्चुअली? वर्डिक्ट था क्या? तो it was that a sale agreement of an immovable property what unregistered any subsequent transaction that was registered or mere a physical possession of the property would not represent it a legal entity, legal document for the property. What does that mean? What was trying to say? तो in a simplified way, अगर आपने कोई प्रॉपर्टी खरीदी और उसका लीगल एग्रीमेंट हो गया, और एग्रीमेंट या जो भी हुआ वो प्रॉपर्टी आपने प्रॉपर तरीके से, अगर जो लोकल तहसील ऑफिस था, लोकल रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस था, उसमें रजिस्टर नहीं कराए, उसके बाद उस प्रॉपर्टी को यूजुअली लोग GPA पे और अदर और एग्रीमेंट करके बेच देते हैं. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेज दैट अगर आपने इस तरह से कोई प्रॉपर्टी ख़रीदी है तो आप ज़रूरी नहीं है उसके लीगल ऑनर बन गए प्रॉपर्टी के. तो बाद उस जिसने आपसे बेची, अगर उसने लीगल तरीके से नहीं ख़रीदी हुई, तो जो बाद में ख़रीदने वाले वो लीगल ऑनर नहीं होंगे प्रॉपर्टी के. केस वॉज स्टार्टेड इज 1982, द वे बैक. तो in what was there was a society, Bhavna Cooperative Housing Society, where it buy a property against the unregistered sales agreement. Society later sold the land in just parts to other people, Meheru Fatima Imran and others, who claimed possession, and later on they became owner. But when the case was passed into the Supreme Court ने डिसीजन दिया कि because this Bhavna Cooperative Housing Society didn't own the property legally, or their documents were not registered, so subsequently those who buy this property, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सेज दैट यू आर नॉट द लीगल ओनर. और उनको प्रॉपर्टी, ऑल्दो उनके पास पोजीशन था, ने घर बनाया हुआ था प्रॉपर्टी, बट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि क्योंकि भावना कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी जिससे आपने खरीदी थी वो ही लीगल ओनर नहीं है, उन्होंने ही प्रॉपर्टी अच्छे से रजिस्टर नहीं कराई, तो आप भी उसके लीगल ओनर नहीं हो सकते. सो बट द simply Supreme Court gave the decision. The headline in the newspaper was, even if you have a registry of the property, still you can't be a owner of the property. You cannot be considered as the owner of the property. So why is the registration not considered sufficient proof for ownership? ऑनरशिप के लिए खाली एक रजिस्ट्रेशन ही आप क्यों नहीं कह सकते कि एक ऑनरशिप है? तो इफ़ यू बाइंग ए प्रॉपर्टी, गेट इट रजिस्टर्ड, but seller did not have clear legal title. अगर आपने, suppose you buy a property from me and I don't possess this clear legal title and I sold it to you. So how can you be a legal owner of the property? The seller is not the legally right property. Suppose in the what I'm talking about, if I am the legal owner and I have done an agreement or I sold a property over GPA, तो वो it never reflect anywhere in the legal document of the property. So if I registered it on your name and I have a agreement before that registration date to some other name, so it's like if I'm not that clear, I don't have clear, although property is on my name in legal documents, बट मैंने उसका GPA किसी के नाम कर दिया, बट मैंने उसका एग्रीमेंट पे किसी के नाम कर दिया है, मैंने उससे किसी के पास अपने लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट दे के या उससे करके मैंने उससे कुछ पैसे ले लिए, तो प्रॉपर्टी का रजिस्ट्रेशन मेरे नाम है बट आई एम नॉट द लीगल ओनर, द क्लियर टाइटल इज़ नॉट क्लियर. तो सब्सिक्वेंट जिन जिन लोगों ने वो प्रॉपर्टी खरीदी तो वो भी उसके लीगल ऑनर नहीं होंगे, लीगल टाइटल नहीं होंगे. तो इसलिए प्रॉपर्टी रजिस्ट्रेशन के साथ और भी चीज़ें ज़रूरी होती है. सो इसीलिए वाई द रजिस्ट्री इज़ नॉट द ओनली document proof of ownership of a property. So what to do before buying a property? One thing is do the proper due diligence of the property. Before you buy, take help of a registered broker who is registered or qualified enough to do the due diligence of the property of any illegal or unauthorized transaction on the property if he can arrange. So do take help of a registered person who can help you out in that and doing the due diligence of the property. So also, what the implication after this of this judgment? What will be the implication after this judgment? So what the people will try to do the due diligence proper, and it will be a time consuming process, so it will take time. So people will start people will start taking help of a proper registered authorized person who can do this for them. So what else? So it will increase the transparency rate will be high, or the failure of the transaction will be less. So what now the question is what one should do before buy a property? What are the documents or other than registration that somebody need to check? So I'll explain this point wise. So one thing is that everybody the first thing is that you must check the chain of the documents. Originally it was registered on whose name, and that subsequently it was transferred to whom. So the chain it should be a valid chain of the documents. Second thing is the title deed, the conveyance deed. Conveyance deed means that initially when a builder do transfer the title to a buyer, then it's considered a conveyance deed, and it is said to be a conveyance deed, and subsequent transaction it is called sales deed. So you should have that conveyance deed as well as sales deed. Any subsequent transaction will be the sales deed. Then one should check the property tax document, the local body, local municipal corporation, or the local body which has the right of tax. So one should check the proper whether the tax document is also on the name of the owner also or not. Then come the mutation or the change of ownership of the property. Mutation with the builder in case of it's a builder property, or with the authority if it's a authority property. So one should check the mutation paper also, so whether it is on the name of the who has the name in conveyance deed or sales deed, the mutation in the record of the local governing body or the builder, it's known in the name of him also or not. Then other thing is the incumbents certificate. Incumbent certificate is that it has no pending dues, no legal liabilities, no loans, no claims, no GPA, or no any legal hire of the property, or no any subsequent transaction on the property. So one should get the incumbent certificate from the seller also, that I am selling all the legal rights of this property to the buyer. And then one should make sure that there is no gift deed or of the said property. That's also one should make sure before buying this property. And and the most important thing, one should check whether the original owner of the property is not having the legal physical possession on the property or not. That is the most important thing, that one should check. Even if it's a rented property and you're buying this property, you should make sure that the owner vacate the property properly and then hand over the physical possession of the property to you before you go through the transaction or go for the registration of the property. You should make sure the property is handed over to you properly and nobody is having the physical possession of the property. So it's not that no need to worry about that judgment, that something is changed or any law is changed. But the Supreme Court is just said in this verdict, you should be careful before buying your property. The overall conclusion of this judgment is that you should be careful before buying a property. After all, it's your hard-earned money you're going to invest in buying this property. So the Supreme Court judgment says that you should check all the legal documents before you buy a property. Thank you. Please do subscribe.